So we put in the coil spring. All the arms, lower and upper, are still disconnected. It's the easiest way to get this in. That may come back to bite us in the butt when we're trying to line up the upper and lower control arms. But we've got adjustable, so we should be okay. He's using a coil spring compressor kit we rented from Napa. And you can see what he's doing right there. It's pretty straightforward how to use it, but we're just disconnecting it now. Got another update. Springs are in, control arms are all in, shocks are going in right now. The only thing left is the track bar and the transfer case drop kit. Well, that's not true. Sway bar links gotta go in, but our kit came with sway bar links that were blown to pieces, so we can't use those for now. So our sway bar is just dangling free right there. But the shocks are in, the coils are in, the upper and lower control arms are in. On these, I don't know this kit. Like I said, it was kind of a custom kit put together. I don't know the exact eye to eye length that the lower and upper control arms should be. So we just ballparked it a little bit larger than the stock ones since we're only 3.5 up here. And we're gonna go with that. This thing's getting an alignment done. It's also getting a locker put in. So they're gonna go ahead and recheck all of our distances for the camber caster, all that stuff up front. So we're not worried too much about that right now. Just wanted to let you know, we have not done brake lines. This is only 3.5 up front. It's not gonna break the bank or kill us right now. We're leaving the brake lines how they are for right now, but we do have extended brake lines. Okay, just about everything's in. The track bar on the upper side is in. We had to drill that out on the upper side. We had to drill it out on the bottom side. But now, when you're doing your track bar, this is what aligns the axle, this guy, underneath your Jeep. So if you lift it and you don't touch the track bar, your axle is going to be sitting a couple inches outside on either side of your Jeep. So your Jeep's going to be here, but your axle is going to be over here. Jeep here, axle here, no good. So we're going to straighten it up. When you're lining up the bottom bolt of your track bar, you get somebody inside the car, turn the key in ignition obviously so the steering wheel will relay or will allow it to move, and then you have them move the steering wheel left and right. All right, Bill, you can see we're just slightly off. Go ahead and turn it one way. Turn it the other way. Stop. All right. Almost looked like an idiot. But you guys see how the track bar moved a ton. It's way off kilter. So turn it back the other way, Bill. Stop. And that looks just about lined up. I might have them go a tiny bit more that way, but as you move the steering wheel back and forth, it'll line up your track bar. Of course, your alignment is going to be real messed up at this point, but that's how you line up your track bar. Now, you got to measure the track bar to make sure it's the right distance. We just ballparked it right now from what I know doing 3.5-inch lifts. And this one's an adjustable. So we've got a lock nut, a jam nut right up there on the track bar, that when you get it the right length, then you crank that bad boy down and that'll actually secure the track bar so it doesn't move anymore. But it is adjustable, make sure you have the right length. This thing centers your axle underneath the Jeep. This is the #1 cause of death wobble when you lift a vehicle. If you do not adjust your track bar every single time, you're gonna get death wobble because your Jeep sits here and your axle sits here. So when you hit highway, the whole thing rocks back and forth. So always make sure. The other time you're gonna get death wobble is if this hole right here for the track bar is wobbled out. If you do a lot of wheeling, this is very common. You can always just you can leave the bolt in there and have somebody turn the wheel back and forth and you'll see the bolt kind of bobble back and forth. But if you turn the car off, take the track bar out, you can stick the bolt in there without the track bar, and if it wobbles a ton back and forth, this hole is obviously wobbled out and that's going to cause some vibrations. Front and rear is done. The lift kit's basically installed. We haven't done the brake lines yet, but certainly will. And now we're just doing the transfer case drop down kit. It's got 2 bolts on either side of the transfer case, and then it's also bolted to the transmission with 4 bolts inside those holes.
Now the drop down kit, all it does is add in these spacers right here. And it's very straightforward. If you've got a stock setup on your Jeep, you may have some studs running down from either side, one on each, it'll be a stud. You gotta back both nuts together and then back that stud out because you're gonna be putting bolts back in it with a spacer in between to overall drop your transfer case. All right, that just about completes the lift.